Texas has bused more than 80,000 immigrants to sanctuary cities, or so-called sanctuary cities, around the country. Governor Greg Abbott has now added flights as another form of transportation. His office shared video of the first flight. It departed El Paso and landed in Chicago on Tuesday. The flights come after a report from the Chicago Tribune that says the city of Chicago is suing bus companies that are bringing migrants from Texas. Immigration advocates say it's a political stunt, but those living near the border say change is needed. Joining us to talk about it, Executive Director of Fiel, Cesar Espinosa. So when you saw now many of the migrants now being put on planes going to Chicago and likely going to New York soon, and other cities like Los Angeles, your thoughts about this? Do you see these individuals as political pawns by Governor Greg Abbott, or what?
The whole scheme is a political stunt. From the moment that the migrants get on these buses or planes, to who's paying for these buses or planes, to where they're being dropped off. And let's start from the beginning. At the beginning, he was saying that he was going to round up folks and put them on planes. All of the people who are getting on buses or planes are volunteering to get on buses or planes. He can't physically force them to get on planes.
So these may be individuals who say, I wanted to go to Chicago.
Absolutely. This may be people who already have family members there, who have family members in New York or wherever it may be, and he is just helping them get closer. But the way he's explaining it to Texans is that he's dumping them all. He calls, you know, all the media out there to use it for his own political gain. So it's a lot more of the same stunts that Governor Abbott has been pulling.
And what about those who say, well, then this is part of their responsibility in this country. If you're not fighting for stronger border patrol, stronger border control, then Chicago should pay the cost, New York should pay the cost, Los Angeles, Boston, all should pay the cost.
I mean, at the end of the day, people are paying the cost of immigration, period, on both ends. Number one is people who are coming and who are, you know, crossing the border. But at the same time, nobody talks about the fact that many immigrants have left and industries are suffering because now they're needing workers. So unfortunately, a dual morale is being played out, where on one hand you're saying we don't need these immigrants, we want these immigrants out, yet industries, whole entire industries, are built on the backs of immigrants, are built and could not sustain themselves were it not for immigrants. One of the other system that benefits from illegal immigration or people paying into the system is Social Security, Medicare, all these industries that studies have been done that if you get rid of the undocumented population, these systems will collapse. So at the end of the day, everybody benefits from illegal immigration except for the immigrants who are being suffered, who are being used as political pawns to fill people's political needs.
Now, and you mentioned that many of the migrants or immigrants have left and gone back, but are we talking about, because this is the period of time, November, December, many of them go back to Mexico, or whatever country they may come from, spend time with family members, and come back in January. So which are you saying going back, meaning have they gone back permanently or they've gone back for the holidays?
I'm glad this is a 2.5-hour show so we can talk about everything, but I'll make it short. Basically, the Pew Hispanic Center has put net migration from Mexico at 0, meaning the same amount of people that are coming in are the same amount of people that are leaving permanently. Now,
and why are they leaving?
And they're leaving for many reasons. One of them is they're tired of living here without seeing their family members for 2 or 3 decades. Many of them are suffering because of the economic hard times, so they would rather you know, go back to where they may have family, where they may have that support system. And the other thing that's not being talked about is the fact that people who are now migrating are in fact not Mexican, but are Central Americans, South Americans, and they're migrating for different reasons, such as climate change and political turmoil in their countries, not necessarily to come in search of their American dream.
All right, Cesar Espinosa from Fiel here in Houston, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays, and thank you for coming with us here on The Factor.